thought the two guys here really gave us a lot of good minutes off the bench, and our bench has got to continue to develop, and the efforts that we got out of these two guys were terrific. We didn't get much out of too many other individuals, and we got to learn, and we've got a big one tomorrow night to try to get out of here with a win and get things to 5-2 before we leave the island and go back home. It's been a very difficult stretch, we knew that, but we got a lot of lessons tonight. You know, I thought our guard play wasn't very good, our front court wasn't very good, and that's not a very good combination. So we just got a lot to work on, and these are lessons that we got to learn from. And I think this young team will bounce back, and hopefully we'll bounce back as quick as tomorrow, because we'll have a tough opponent, whoever that is.
Steve, what stopped you? You got denied in the second half, and then they took off again.
Yeah, you know, their pressure defense was outstanding. You know, that's the first time. You know, I don't know what the number. I think our guards had like 5 assists and 18 turnovers. You know, you can't have guard play that has that kind of assist turnover, and we haven't had it all year. And you give credit to North Carolina. You know, I thought that their pressure was very good. Wore us down a little bit. We're logging a lot of minutes with no depth. We have very little depth, and so you got to play 3 games of this caliber in back-to-back nights. It's not an easy thing. But we got to find a way late tomorrow night to be able to get that done.
Steve, of the things that you rattled off, which one concerns you the most?
How we handle pressure, you know, pressure and adversity. You know, I think that, you know, Kavan got in foul trouble for the first time. We haven't had to really deal with Kavan being in foul trouble, and he picked up his 4th foul to start the second half. That really affects us because he's so important to the team. So this is the first game we've had to deal with that. You know, last night we were dealing with 3 guys in foul trouble. So we've got to be able to guard without fouling because we don't have depth, and we've got to be able to. Those starters, one, are going to log a lot of minutes, but guys like to my right and left, they're pushing, and I think that's what's good. You know, these guys continue to develop, and that's going to really help us. And I thought in a lot, you know, Gigi didn't play at all last night. Didn't play 1 second, and he's thrown in after sitting all of last night and plays 10 minutes and gets a steal and 3 rebounds, makes a basket, and was in the right position at the right time against Carolina. So I thought Thomas is starting to relax and fill his role very well. So that's what we got to see out of our bench, so that it takes a little bit of pressure off some of these starters.
Steve, when he gets this 4 6 seconds into the half, just alluded to it, is that everything you talked about in the last 15 minutes or halftime? Just kind of
well, you know, the guys, Kavan's a big part of it. You know, Kavan's a big part of it, and you know, we wanted to start him in the second half. You know, and you know, maybe we shouldn't have. You know, looking back, maybe we shouldn't have. But I've always throughout my career, guys have had 3 fouls. I started in the second half. You know, if they're a starter, so it was just unfortunate. I mean, it was literally 10 seconds in, so that rattles a little bit. But we were still able to cut it to 9, even with him sitting on the bench. So thought we had some guys come in and play well and do a lot of good things, but we just got wore down, and we got to find a way to get some extra minutes in other places and relieve some pressure some other places. You know, Bryce is predominantly handling the ball a lot, and we got to find a you know, backup that can get him off the ball. It's one where he can get shots as a shooting guard, and there's not so much pressure on him to run the show for the entire game. And we just had some guys out of rhythm. You know, Isaac was a little out of rhythm tonight. He'll be better. We know that. We just picked a night to have a lot of guys have some tough nights against a really good team. And when that happens, you're going to have a lopsided loss. And we had that, and I fully expect our guys to bounce back, and we'll learn from this and we'll get better.
Bryce got the second 2 to 7 minutes ago and a half. Do you think about? I know you got 6 minutes more out of him without doing it.
Right. It wears him down. You know, and I get it. There's a lot of them that get wore down. You know, and but I think it's early in the season. We're going to learn, and you know, all this is new. You know, for instance, Bryce, he averaged 23 minutes last year. He's learning how to play 34 minutes, 35 minutes. That's going to take some time to learn that. Isaac hadn't played in 18 months. He was only practiced last year. That was it. So his last competition was the last game of his senior in high school, and he sit out a year. He's going to, and we're asking him to play 30-plus minutes. That's not easy. Norman goes from being the 3rd guard last year to being now the, you know, kind of the lead guard as far as scoring and responsibility. And Norman was about a 26, 27-minute guy. Now, you know, he's getting up over 30 minutes. Tony, same way. Tony was a 5-minute guy his freshman year. He was 19 last year. Now we want him 26 to 30 or so. So all these are new, and that's going to take some time. And unfortunately, as good as this tournament is, we got to be a little bit realistic that it's not going to happen by Thanksgiving, and we know that. I was unhappy with a lot of things tonight, and we'll address that as a team. But the reality of it is that I hope we're going to be a lot better time we get to Christmas than we are now.
How much, you mentioned the minutes they're playing, how much do you miss that flexibility to be able to pull a Bryce or an Isaac when they're going through a string of turnovers and just give them time to settle down?
Well, it's a flexibility we don't have, and it's unfortunate. We talked about that. It's just an unfortunate deal that happened, and so we're dealt with the cards that we're dealt, and so we just got to continue to work that bench and continue to develop it, and with the guys that we have, and hopefully we stay out of foul trouble and keep getting better.
Thomas, I'm obviously going to be forgetting these two, we're just focusing on the next one.
Yeah, that's exactly the plan right now. Is just forget about this game, learn what we can from it, learn the mistakes we made. Just accept and move on, get ready for the next one, and just really move forward. Just have to get one game at a time.
DG, what was the adjustment like? You didn't play at all a minute last game. You played a lot of minutes today. What was the adjustment like for you from the game?
Yeah, so coach told me to always be ready to get in. And last night I didn't have a chance to get in, so obviously I was like more hyped up to play. So I got in. I think I worked hard, tried to do my best. It wasn't easy because North Carolina's a pretty good team. They play pretty tough. But yeah, I tried to do my best.
Steve, it's a lot of basketball in 3 days. What do you need to do to even come back tomorrow and bounce back from this game?
Well, it's just a gut check. It's a gut check game for us. It's somebody, whoever we play in that nightcap. Both of us are 0-2 in this tournament, so you're trying to. It's going to be a fun game because I think it's going to be a battle because somebody's trying to get off here with a win. And so if we can respond in the right way, that's what we're looking for. Is how these guys respond, how you pick yourself up after back-to-back losses. That's all we can look for. We're not changing our offense or changing our defense overnight. We just got to execute better at both ends and try to get out here with a win.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.